Hey y'all, so this is the makeup look from my last video. A lot of you guys requested it, so I hope you enjoy. Okay guys, so I've already cleansed and prepped my skin with moisturizer. I am using Neutrogena products, and my moisturizer has an SPF of 30. So next I'm going to go ahead and prime, and that is super important for making sure that your foundation lasts throughout the hot heat, and just making sure that you're flawless all day long. So the first thing I like to use is the Stay Matte Primer by Rimmel London. And I like this primer because of the consistency. It kind of looks like a cream or a lotion, if you can see that. So I can put this all over and it doesn't make my face feel extremely dry. And the next step I want to do is put on the Makeup Forever primer. This is for your pores. It's basically a smoothing primer. So I put that on the areas where I notice that I have a lot of pores. And this is more of a silicone base primer. It looks like this, kind of like an off-white color. You don't need too much. So I just dab it on my cheeks, and whatever's left I put it on my nose. And the last primer, yes, we're triple priming. This is the mattifying primer by Makeup Forever, and this primer, the reason why I put that first matte primer on is because this primer doesn't really smooth over the skin easily. You want to dab this on. So I just dab this in the areas where I get extremely oily. And that's really here where I get smile lines, in the crease of my nose. And I just kind of put the residue on the T-zone area. I don't really get too oily there. My nose sweats like a wet dog. I mean, seriously. So there's no point in really priming my nose like that, because even when I'm cold, my nose gets super cold and it just has like little sweat beads on it. So it's nothing I can really do. But I like to focus it right here where I get smile lines. Alright, and so now we're going to just move on to the eyes to give the primer some time to set in. You want to make sure every time you're applying face products that you give them time to sink into your face and marinate, so that the next application will be smooth. So for the eyes, I think I'm going to go for more of a I don't know, bronzy kind of look. And I'm going to use Old Faithful. This is a MAC paint pot. It's almost done. And this is in Girl Friendly. It has a pink undertone. It really doesn't matter as long as like it's a neutral color. You just want to put this on your eyes just to make sure that the eyeshadow is not creasing. Just make sure that you spread it evenly, because when you're putting powder products on top, if it's not spread evenly, they may clump up in the areas where you have more of the primer. Alright, so the eyeshadow palette that I'm going to be using today is my favorite palette, and this is the Nubian palette by Juvia's Place. I love this palette, you guys. It's filled with super warm tones, and I'm just absolutely in love. So I'm going to go ahead and take this brown color here, and this is really a dupe for MAC's Brown Script. I just like the way this blends better for some reason. I don't feel like it's like they're the exact same color, but the formula is different. So I'm just going to take that right into my crease, and it's just a reddish brown color. It's just going to warm up that crease, and you just want to make sure that you're blending really well. If you have hooded eyelids like me, you may want to hold it up just to make sure you're getting it directly into the crease. I know sometimes I have hooded lids and sometimes I can go a little bit too high. I don't mind going too low because I know I'm going to do a lid color. And then I just want to take like a fluffier blending brush and just kind of make sure it's blended more. You guys, these shadows are super pigmented. I mean, I just dipped my brush in there one time and I'm good to go, like honestly. And this is a matte shade, so you know sometimes matte shades, they're not that pigmented, but this palette is everything. I mean, $20 well spent. Alright, so I think I want to go... Ooh, I don't know. What do I want to do? I'm really obsessed with this color here and this color. This color here is more like an Expensive Pink by MAC, which I really, really love. But I just can't decide. We can go a little bit more neutral. So I think I'm going to go with the Expensive Pink. This one is going to be super warm on me. So I'm just going to go with the Expensive Pink color. keep it more light and summery and airy. So I'm gonna take a MAC 239 brush, which just is a eyeshadow brush. I'm gonna get a ton of product on here, and I'm just going to pack it and drag it. And look how pigmented that is. It's like so freaking pretty. And I'm not the most neat with putting on eyeshadow, but I always just clean it up with blending, or you know, just after the fact. I'm not like super worried about how it goes on. I mean, you do want to care, but don't stress about it. It's just makeup, y'all. So you see how I got that on, and because I have a hooded lid, I need to go back through and just blend that out so it's not too much in my crease. And then sometimes you may lose a little product, so you just want to go right back just on the area that's going to be showing, like so. Okay, so I think I do want to add a little bit more depth into my crease, but I don't want it to be too overwhelming, so I'm just going to take this, it's kind of like a shimmery brownish color, warm brown. I'm going to just add that to like the outer corners, just to warm it up and to give it a little bit more definition, but not really creating like this super deep smoky eye, if that makes any sense. And this brush I'm using is a MAC 217. It's really just like a flat blending brush. So now we're gonna go ahead and move on to foundation. I kind of like to stop at the eyes here and then start my foundation just to clean it up, and then I'll finish off with the finishing touches on the eyeliner and everything like that. So my absolute favorite foundation, not just for summer, but really it's great for summer, which is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Foundation. This foundation makes my skin look absolutely flawless, and it gives me a nice satin powder texture, but not super matte. I still look like it's skin on my face, not like caked on. It's very thin, very lightweight. I love this foundation, and it has great coverage. So you want to go ahead and shake this up really good. I'm in the color number 10, if you're wondering. So I just do 2 pumps on my hand like that, and I apply this with my beauty blender. And you do this with a damp beauty blender. I find it much easier that way. I don't like applying thinner foundations with a brush. I feel like it makes them extremely streaky. So I like to use the beauty blender to just make sure that everything looks really smooth and flawless. I know I may be putting my foundation and like applying my makeup in a weird sequence according to like other people, but this is just what works for me. I feel like if you are a beginner, go ahead and do your eyes first and then do foundation. That way you can clean up anything that has fallen out like underneath your eyes and stuff like that. You're not gonna have to be so stressed out about it, because if you've done your concealer and everything and then you do your eyes and then it's like a mess down there, you're gonna have to apply more concealer, and that's just wasting product and caking product on. So I do have a couple of well, not a couple, I have blemishes on my face, and I did not color correct today just so you can see the coverage of this foundation. I don't usually color correct unless I'm doing like a super glam makeup look, but for summertime you want to use as less products as possible. So you can kind of still see a little bit, but I feel like it conceals pretty well for such a thin, lightweight foundation. And of course, when we do our powder and our concealer, that's gonna help as well. The only thing I am gonna do is just apply a little bit more on my chin, because I have 2 breakouts right here, which is so weird because I haven't had a breakout in about 7 or 8 months. So I don't know what's happening. I had kind of got my skin under control, and I just have these 2 little bumps. I'm not mad about it, but I'm nervous because I'm like, okay, is it happening again? We can't have that. So just gonna put a little bit more right there just to conceal those blemishes. Okay, next I'm gonna use concealer, and I like to mix concealers for a concealed look and a highlighted look. My absolute favorite has been the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. I used to use this years ago, and then I just used a little bit like maybe 3 weeks ago, and I was in love, but it was only a little bit left. So this is like one of the best concealers. I'm gonna use one pump, and I conceal. This is an NC45, so it is like a highlighting shade. And I use this with my beauty blender. I feel like it really blends well with the beauty blender. So easy. And this is also a really thin product as well. It's not super thick going on. It's pretty liquidy. So you're not gonna feel like it's too cakey or too heavy on the skin in the summertime. And anything that says prolonged wear or matte or anything like that is gonna be your best friend in the summertime if you are an oily girl. I'm not really oily under my eyes, but you don't want that area to crease, so I don't think it hurts to use mattifying products or long-lasting products underneath your eyes, because they will crease otherwise. Especially if you tend to have dry under eyes, you can always put a little bit of eye cream underneath, and that should help with that. But you shouldn't be afraid to use mattifying or, you know, long-lasting products under the eye, I don't think. So as you can see, guys, it just looks so good. It highlights it so well. Go ahead and add a little bit on the nose, Cupid's bow area, and the chin, which I really don't need because you see these blemishes down here. And I like to blend that out. I don't like any harsh lines. I also like to take the booty part of the beauty blender and just kind of go around that area so it blends into the foundation. So next I'm gonna take my Midnight Banana powder, and I'm gonna bake slightly with this, and then I'm gonna set it with my Laura Mercier translucent powder. I like this better because I notice when I set, I don't know if it's because I'm using the prolonged wear, but using just that translucent powder, it just doesn't give me what I need. It doesn't give me that warmth. So I like this yellow powder, like right, especially in the little crevices where I told you that my my bags are. I like to use the banana, and I use a very little bit amount, like not a lot at all. And you can go ahead and just apply that to all your highlighted areas. So that's my baking part. And then with the Laura Mercier powder, I like to just take a little bit on my brush, stick it in the top, swirl it around. This stuff is getting everywhere. Tap off the excess. And I dust it in those smile lines, down my nose, right here on the forehead, just like that. So yes, you will look like a ghost, but that's okay, because we're gonna fix it later. This is making your makeup bulletproof, like seriously. So you do have to, I feel like you do have to use some type of powder product, kind of let it sit for a little while, especially if you're gonna be out in the sun or the heat. Super important, guys, because it's gonna like make your makeup melt off if you don't. So now we can move back to the eyes. I'm gonna go ahead and apply my eyeliner to my waterline. And this is the Miliani Liquifeye or something like that, one of my favorites. Being that this is a summer look, you can also go in with like a white or a peach liner in your waterline. That would be super cute. That look, it's cute sometimes for me, but you know, it's not the bomb. This is like tried and true for me, black eyeliner. But it depends on your eye shape. I have larger eyes anyway, and that, you know, technique makes your eyes look bigger, so I'm not always going for that look. But I think it will be super cute if you have smaller eyes. What I will do though is I will highlight my inner tear duct with kind of a lighter shade in the palette. I think I'm gonna use this one up here. See how that just brightens that up? And then I'm also gonna take this kind of shimmery brownish color and stick that right underneath. Just kind of smoke out the lash line. And I didn't used to really do this, but I really feel like it brings the eye look together. It really does. Next, I'm gonna go in with the Carbon Black Linear Intense by Loreal. I love this liner. It has a felt tip, super wet, super black, and it's really good for beginners, especially if you're not good with using a brush applicator, because I'm not. And I really don't have a ton of tips, guys, as far as eyeliner is concerned. I will say if you have hooded lids, make your line thin towards the inner so that you can still see your shadow, and also just use short strokes. Don't try to do it all in one because you will probably mess up. Start off thin and get thicker if you can. So I always do a wing liner. That's just how I like it. I like for my eye shape to be a little bit more cat eye. Alright, so now we want to go back and dust away all that excess powder, or excess powder. I don't know why I keep saying excess. The excess powder. Just kind of blend that in and dust it away. So we don't want to walk around looking like this because we look whitewashed, right? And we're brown. So we want to go in with our setting powder like how you would your foundation. I'm using the MAC Mineralize Skin Finish in Dark. And I'm just going to get it on like a flat dome brush. This is from e.l.f. Extremely inexpensive, $3, and I love it. You want to just set your foundation and blend away with all those harsh light lines that we created with that translucent powder and also the banana powder. Again, this step also ensures that your makeup does not budge, so we like that. See how that just kind of tones it down, and you're just highlighted underneath your eyes. Slightly, you know, on the nose and stuff, but nothing too dramatic to where it looks like, you know, your face is just white. So next I'm going to take it just a step further just to warm up my skin tone even more, and I'm going to use the Guerlain Terracotta Bronzer in number 7. I just get this on a angled brush like this, and I go right in and just bronze up the skin, bronze up the cheek area. See how that just adds a little bit of warmth, not a super contour, but warmth. And then I'm going to bring it underneath here just for blending purposes. Get that other side. And this is close to my skin tone, but it does provide that warmth that I want. So you can do your hairline if you like. And then if you want to contour, you can go in with your contour powder. You see how my skin and my face looks kind of contour, but it's not like a hard contour. So you can stop here, or you can go in and just kind of chisel out those cheeks just a little bit more, which is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to take Blunt by MAC, and I'm just going to hit it right there at the sideburn area. Just kind of blend. See how that just adds just a little bit more dimension. Like that. And this is a warm tone brown as well, so you're still getting that warmth, and it really helps when you do a lot of highlighting, guys, because you don't want your skin to look too light or too washed out, because when those cameras get to flashing, you're gonna look like a ghost. So there we have it. See how that just contours it just a little bit more. And I do like to take my bronzer down my nose to give a slight contour on the sides. And I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I feel like it makes a difference. So next we're gonna go in with blush, and I'm gonna use, this is Matahari by Nars. It's just like a pink blush. I just use a little bit because Nars products are super pigmented. Probably not even enough to see, but enough to just add a little color. It's not gonna be like really pink because I'm just literally touching the product like that. Now for my favorite part, I'm gonna highlight using the Bobbi Brown Bronze Glow highlighter. I love this stuff. I'm gonna use this e.l.f. Blush brush, or I guess it's, yeah, blush brush. Just gonna hit the sides of those cheekbones. And that's so pretty. And depending on your nose shape, you can highlight your nose if you want to. I like mine to look a little bit more linear because I feel like I have more of a like round tip. So I don't just focus on the tip of my nose. I kind of hit it here at the bridge so that it brings attention there. And then right there at the tip. So it just kind of creates more of, makes the eye go down that line. You know what I mean? I don't just take it down the line like that though. And the Cupid's bow. Love that. It makes the lip appear a little bit larger. Just like that. Okay guys, so my camera died, but I went ahead and applied my lashes off camera, and I'm using the House of Lashes. This is how the box looks like, in the style Siren, and they are my absolute favorites. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some mascara on my bottom lashes. And I'm using the Loreal Miss Manga, and I use that to just dot little dots on my bottom lash line. I learned that from Makeup Shayla, and it really makes it look like you have really full bottom lashes. And there you have it. So on to the lips. I want to do like a really bronzy kind of lip, so I'm going to go in with MAC Cork Lip Liner. I really am loving Clay Crush by Maybelline, and this is how it looks. It comes in this packaging. Really a gorgeous color. It's kind of like a terracotta color. And on top of that, I'm going to apply Nymphette Lip Glass by MAC, and that's going to give me that metallic color that I'm really loving for the summer. And I'm really loving glossy lips. And to make my lips appear a little bit larger, I'd like to put the gloss on the lip line. Like that. Alright you guys, so that pretty much concludes the tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it's been a long time since I've been on camera, and honestly, doing a talk through tutorial is a little bit more difficult than it looks, but I really enjoyed creating this look for you guys, and I love this look for spring and summer. I've been wearing this look for a while, so if you see me on Instagram or Snapchat, then you probably are familiar with this look. And I hope you got some good takeaways to let you know how to keep your foundation on in the hot summer heat. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. I'll be happy to answer those for you. And I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.